Good morning, happy Saturday. Um, Depressing times we're living in. I got my papers from work yesterday that I have to carry with me at all times. Uh, when I leave my home, when I'm stopped by the Gestapo, show my papers like Nazi Germany. We said we would never let that happen in America, but here we are letting it happen because Americans are pussies. They won't stand up for freedom. The COVID-19 tests have an 80% false positive rate, meaning that they are wrong 4 out of 5 times. Which means that those cases that you see blasted all over CIA TV, 4 out of 5 of those cases are not positive. That's what that means. This has been reported. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a goddamn doctor. But the links are on my page on Facebook. So, they're there. But what I've noticed with a lot of people is they don't really want the information. What I've noticed is that with a lot of people is that they like this. They really do like the chains of their own enslavement. They love it. It's for most people it's something to gossip about. It's something to talk about. They feel like they're part of something big. So they like the quarantine. They like government telling them when they can leave their homes. It's very disappointing to see how many people hate freedom and worship authority and worship government. If you've ever played chess before, chess is a favorite game of mine. I'm not very, very good at it because I haven't got to play it a lot. I don't really know a lot of people that like to play. But I do really like the game because it's a thinking game, and you got to try to think as many steps ahead as you can. 3, 4 steps ahead. You got to plan it out and have a strategy. And what we're seeing, what we've been seeing for the last 2 decades from the United States government is them moving ahead with a police state. They're moving ahead with a checkmate. They just passed the bill to install 5G all across the United States, and 5G was developed as a military weapon for crowd control. And they're going to install these under the guise of cell phone towers. But what 5G actually is, what it was designed to be, as I said, it's a military weapon. So that's an act of war. And like I said, if you've ever played chess, and you know they're setting the pieces up for the kill, crowd control is what 5G was designed for. Another thing that I would like to mention is that some people may not be aware that the Russia from time to time will fly their jets into as close to or into American airspace from time to time to see how close they can get, and American jets will escort them back out. And this happens from time to time because Russia wants to see how far they can get in. And that's an act of war, and it not really an act of war, but it's something that is done between these nations at war with each other. What the United States has done with these executive orders and with these false positive COVID-19 tests that jacking the numbers up and creating this false pandemic is that they are, in a sense, flying their jet in to see how far they can get in. This is a martial law test run. That's what it is. They're doing two things here. They are conditioning our minds to accept the government's boot on our neck. And most people are very compliant. I'm one of the only people that I know within my circle. There's a lot of people on YouTube and I see on Facebook and things like this that are speaking out. Maybe not to the level that I am, the level that I take it to, where I say we need to form constitutional militias and protect the Constitution against these criminals. I think I'm one of the only ones that's saying that, but there are people speaking out against a lot of the lies that are being said, and however, as I say, I'm one of the only people that I know that's speaking out, that's pushing back against this. Most people are accepting it with open arms. They're accepting the government's boot on their neck and saying, please, master, step harder. It's very disappointing. I'm not going to go on and on. This video has already gone 6.5 minutes. I didn't intend for it to go this long, so I'm gonna wrap it up now. People have got to realize that this is only the beginning. It's only going to get worse from here. It's not going to get better. By the time you see what's going on, they've got checkmate. They're setting the pieces up. You gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention. They've been doing this for a long time. We're already behind. We're way behind. We're way behind. We should have had constitutional militias 10 years ago.